All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
Rightio legends, Chaos Chronicles, and we're back with another video. So today on our episode of Underbellys Most Feared, so I've been getting asked to do the Lawyer X, the NICOLA Gobbo stuff. So yeah, we're going to do a video on Lawyer X or NICOLA Gobbo today. But before I get into it, if you haven't already, jump down there, shoot me a subscription, and if you hit that little bell icon, you'll never miss any of my clips again. And I also have memberships available. They aren't for everyone, they're paid memberships. And so what does that get you? So at the moment, that gets you members only content, so content that only you can see. And also you get to see every single video I post before everybody else gets to see them with my members first post. So every video I post gets done as a members first post, so you guys get to see them first. So there's 3 different types of memberships, and so they cost different monies. But how do they help? They just help me move on to bigger and better things, and just do bigger and better things on my page. And so we are doing so. So yeah, so we've been filming I have been filming with TJ. So I've got to do some more filming on Thursday, and then I'm tipping the video will drop next week sometime. So, and then I'm doing some more stuff with the Inquirer, and a lot of stuff's coming in, but I don't want to speak about nothing until it's in writing or whatever. As you guys know, I have a bad habit of mentioning things and then they don't happen. But anyway, all right, let's get into it. NICOLA Gobbo. So NICOLA Gobbo was one of the most well-known and best criminal barristers in Melbourne. So she represented some of the state's biggest names when it comes to criminality. She was representing names like Carl Williams and other criminals that are cut from that ilk. And so in her time, she was somewhat of a bloody unicorn, to be honest. So she had the trust of all of her clients, which proved to be kind of, not fatal but deadly to them and to her as well. So she was at the start, she was getting information off her clients and then giving that information to other clients. And so that information ultimately was leading to people being killed. And so that was pretty brutal. But not only that, she was working with the police as a full-time undercover police informer. And so why this was bad, because like she's getting paid off some of the biggest criminal names in our state, and then she's running straight to the police at the same time she's running to other criminals and telling the other criminals all the inside information on all these people. And so it's just, it was dangerous because she was a secret informer for the police and giving police information that she's getting told in secrecy. So there's, lawyer client confidentiality. And so that's exactly what she should have stuck by, and she didn't. And so like every bit of information that her clients were giving her to fight her legal battles, she was not only running to other criminals and telling them all this information, she was running to the police and telling them all this information as well. So like, it's a dangerous game to play. And I don't know how she ever thought that she was going to get away with it, knowing damn well that all the snitches get unearthed anyway. A snitch is never ever safe. So she must have known that she was going to get unearthed. I don't know, maybe there was some kind of monetary gain out of it or whatever. Who knows why she done it, but it was absolutely stupid. And she did put her life in grave danger. But the thing is, right, so I remember when I was in prison on my big one, so from 2010 till 2019, so around 2012, 2013, there was talk of a lawyer that was, a gangland lawyer that was giving information to the police, that same information that her clients were giving to her in confidence. And so we all knew, like at the very start, that it was a female when they just said that it was a lawyer, right? We all knew in prison, like very, very early on, that it was a female. But it was only 6 months after we found out that it was a female that we found out that it was Nicola Gobbo. So it wasn't like it was secret information. Every single person that was in that criminal world knew that Nicola Gobbo was Lawyer X and knew that there was going to be like shit happening about it. And so everybody knew that every single person who she represented, that case was then tainted. So everybody who was represented by her was waiting patiently for her to be named so they could then put their cases forward and say that they've been given a miscarriage of justice or whatever, and so they could fight to have their cases overturned. And so hundreds and hundreds of people had their cases overturned, and very, very famously, some of the cases in the video that I'm about to show. So, but like she didn't like she must have known that this was going to happen, and I almost think that this was what she was doing on purpose, knowing damn well. And I think she might have been getting paid. Who knows? This is just speculation, but like I can't see why somebody who's got the criminal smarts of a lawyer like that would do something so stupid, knowing damn well that it's going to put her life in danger. So there must have been some kind of monetary gain or whatever. Who knows? But let's check this video out.
From an undisclosed location and with her face shielded, Nicola Gobbo finally spoke to the inquiry she helped spark.
Can you confirm your full name for the record, please?
Nicola Marie Gobbo.
Given your circumstances, there's no need, as I understand it, to provide any address.
She'd always told police it might come to this.
I would say, if you people don't know what you're doing, then I'll end up dead and there will be a Royal Commission.
After months saying she was too ill to testify, there were signs of fragility.
I've got a blinding headache, but I've had a headache for 4 or 5 days.
Not surprising, perhaps, given there were lawyers for a who's who of Melbourne's underworld looking on.
Mr Pasquale Barbaro, Mr Farouk Orman, Mr Slate Svednovsky, Mr Paul Dale.
But for the most part, Ms Gobbo sounded lucid and recalled her past in great detail, including encounters with crime boss Carl Williams.
You attended his daughter's christening at the Crown Casino in December 2003 and made a speech.
Yeah, a whole table of lawyers went. I was the only one stupid enough to make a speech.
There were admissions she'd slept with at least 3 officers, including one from the Federal Police.
It does appear that you've had an intimate sort of relationship with that officer.
I wouldn't go so far as to say relationship, but yes, you're right.
And she failed to tell a client about another relationship with an officer, even though the client was giving evidence against that officer in a corruption case.
Do you accept that it's something that you absolutely should have made known to him?
Yes, in retrospect I do.
For the most part, today's hearing focused on Nicola Gobbo's less controversial early career as a lawyer. Questions about the more explosive allegations against her are to come. She'll resume giving evidence tomorrow. Danny Morgan, ABC News, Melbourne.
So not only was she like snitching on her clients to the police, she was having intimate relationships with not only criminals, but the police as well. Like, it just blows my mind that she didn't realize that this was going to happen, which makes me believe that, you know, there's some other catalyst behind all this. And, you know, so, but yeah, like I said, we all knew it was Nicola Gobbo. And so every single person who was represented by Nicola Gobbo was literally sitting back, patiently waiting for her name to be mentioned so they could all get let out. And like mentioned in that video and in the next video that I'm about to show, you know, certain prisoners were sent to prison on things that they shouldn't have been sent to prison for, over bullshit stories that she was feeding to people and making them. So she was like representing clients and then representing a snitch that was going against her client. And so she was giving information to clients to snitch on her other client. Like, I don't even know how she like got away with it for so long, but the crux of the story, she didn't get away with it. And, you know, so now, you know, so many people have been released from prison from this. Very famously, Tony Mockbell and a lot of other people. And so now Nicola Gobbo is actually facing legal action herself. So all of these people who some of these people spent over 10 years in prison. So let me tell you, the compensation that they would be getting is absolutely bonkers. So I know, so for a compensation payout for a false imprisonment is like something like $2,800 per day. And when you've done 10 years, you work that out. It's a lot of fucking money. And so, you know, rightly so, these people deserve it. Like, these people spent over 10 years in prison, were taken away from their families in crimes that they would not have been convicted on had she not been doing like fucking wrongdoings to her clients. So like, I think that, you know, she's in hiding right now still to this day, because, you know, obviously her life is at risk because of all the people she snitched on. And not only that, she snitched on a lot of corrupt police as well. So, you know, a lot of these people are gonna want retribution and have names for getting retribution. So, but yeah, a lot of people are right now suing Nicola Gobbo, Lawyer X, or Informant 3838. And yeah, so let's hope that they all get their money
as
too.
Tony Mockbell enjoys his first few days of freedom, the infamous Lawyer X scandal will return to court this week, with Nicola Gobbo now being sued by one of the men whose conviction was quashed due to her actions in the case. Farouk Oman was the first of the Lawyer X cases to walk free from jail after his 2002 murder conviction was overturned. He's now launched civil legal proceedings against Ms Gobbo. And there are already suggestions Tony Mockbell could follow suit later this year. For more, criminal defence lawyer Ruth Parker is joining us live in Melbourne. Good morning to you, Ruth. Firstly, just explain how Nicola Gobbo's actions led to the release of Farouk Oman from prison.
Well, in Farouk's particular case, it turned out that the case really relied upon the evidence of one key witness. And while she was acting for Farouk, she was encouraging this witness to give evidence against him. And when he tried to back out and not give evidence in court, she told the police that that was what he was intending to do. And they sent some police officers in to convince him to continue to give evidence for police.
Okay, so what sort of case will his team be making now?
So his team are currently suing Nicola Gobbo personally for damages arising from obviously her breach of her duties to her clients, but also in circumstances where we've now had a Royal Commission and a number of courts say that what she did wasn't just unethical, but potentially seriously criminal. And in circumstances where this is a person who's accrued assets, being paid out by Victoria Police, she now hides behind them when being sued in person by somebody whose liberty she helped affect. And essentially what Farouk is doing is running that through the courts.
Right, so Tony Mockbell, he's got out very publicly the other day. He could take legal action against her too.
Certainly. I mean, the interesting thing about Mr. Mockbell's case is that she was actually his lawyer across a number of matters, and she was also advising him in relation to his extradition when he was fighting extradition from Greece. And in circumstances where he was the key target for the Piranha Task Force, her role was very significant to the point where a New South Wales judge has said that she was involved in a criminal conspiracy with 3 other police members. So really, in circumstances where his convictions are looking to be overturned in relation to at least 2 operations, she should be deeply concerned that he will also seek to sue her.
Okay, how many more cases will there be against her? Because you would expect there would be limited funds that she would have. Or would there be more cases come against Victoria Police?
Probably a combination of the two. And in circumstances where potentially Victoria Police will indemnify her for the damage that she's caused, given that she did it at the behest of police, and in circumstances where we've got probably about 20 cases pending, reliant upon what happens in Mockbell, the floodgates really could open unless it's dealt with appropriately, one would have thought.
This could go on for years and be millions and millions of dollars.
Absolutely. I mean, it already has gone on for years and cost millions and millions of dollars, and it's going to continue to do so.
Okay, I think we'll be talking again. Thank you, Ruth. Here's Siobhan.
Well, there you go. As you can see, she's got, some legal action on her hands, and she's going to have more legal action on her hands, and she should have even more than that. If you ask me, in a situation like this, when their job is to, same as judges as well, someone who knows the law as well as they do and their job is the law, they should be treated worse than the criminals that they're supposed to be working for. I think that what should be done here and what is fair, so many people spent so many years in prison because of what she did. And if you ask me, I never wish prison on any person. But someone like this, who knows better and knows what the outcome would be, definitely needs to taste some real justice and get some fucking prison time like the people that she informed and snitched on got. And rightly so. That's exactly where she deserves to be. She sent so many people, hundreds of people went to prison because of her bullshit lies and the stuff that wasn't lies that were supposed to be confidential, lawyer, client, confidential stuff. And it wasn't kept that way. And so, you make your own bed and you lie in it. And if somebody knew what the consequences of doing this shit was going to be, it's this person. And so if you ask me, she definitely deserves to be in prison for what she's done. And then I would imagine some real justice would be done while she's in prison. But anyway, so many people asked me to do a video on Lawyer X. And, well, there you go. Lawyer X, the lady who single-handedly took down the underworld and then let half of the underworld out of prison. So small clap to you, Lawyer X, Nicola Gobbo. So, there we go, guys. If you got anyone else you'd like me to do a video on, as always, jump down there in the comment section of this video, chuck a comment there, and I'll do my utmost best to make a video. We're about to jump in to our Sydney's Underbelly stuff, so the early 80s and 90s stuff. And, we're going to do that when we finish our Melbourne episodes, which we're not finished, but we're about to be. So, and also, guys, if you haven't already subscribed, jump down there, shoot me a subscription. That'd be absolutely appreciated. Trust me, this is the time you want to be subscribed, and got so much going on in this space here. So watch this space and, don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in prison.
Chaos